restaurant of this. I'll tell you a story. I'm sitting in the restaurant of this hotel in Amersfoort, in Holland. And just sitting there by myself, I'm getting ready for the event, and there's this handsome guy kind of sitting 2 tables over, and he's kind of staring at me. I'm kind of eating, looking at him, he's looking at me, I'm looking back at him. He's looking at me, and I'm thinking, I hope this guy is at the event. So I call him over. Come over here. Sit down. It's a German guy. I go, what do you do? He goes, I design engines for Porsche. I'm an engineer. I design the engines, I test drive the cars, I know that, I do all that stuff. I said, you like your job? He goes, yeah, it's okay. And I go, where are you from? Frankfurt. I go, you like living in Frankfurt? Isn't it cold there? Yeah, it is a little cold, he said. I said, you know what? And this has nothing to do with, this was years ago. There's nothing to do with whether I like something or don't like something, but I just looked at him and I said, you know what you should do? You should work for Tesla. And he said to me, I applied for a job at Tesla and they rejected my application. I said, so? I said, we're going to do this thing where you can today where you can tune into a potential in the quantum field that you could actually work for Tesla. He's a smart guy now. He said, okay. I said, take that napkin there and take out a pencil, and I want you to write the word intention. Now, if you want to work for Tesla, I want you to write the letter T. T stands for what? Tesla, his job at Tesla. And I want you to draw 2 squiggly lines around it that represent the electromagnetic field. You with me still? Come on, you with me? Okay, so this, let's call it a J to make it easier, a new job. He wants a new job. He doesn't know what he wants to do, but we have a conversation. So then I said, now, what is this new job? What does it mean to you? Like, what are the sub-intentions? What are the conditions that you want the job to be? What do you think he said? I want to make more money than I'm making now. Is that possible in the quantum field? Does that job exist? All right, Sam, what else? What did he say? I want to live somewhere warm. Are you with me still? And then I said, what kind of job? You said, well, you said Tesla, so I want to work for Tesla. Are you with me still? And then he said, I want to make a difference in the world. That's really why I want to change my career. Are you with me? So I said, okay, so every time you see this J and these 2 squiggly lines, this J with its 2 squiggly lines will help you understand, or you'll get clear in your vision that this job, you make more money, you're living in a new place and it's warm, you're working for Tesla, and you're making a difference in the world. That's what that means. And he said, absolutely. Anything else? No. I said, okay. On the other side of that napkin, I want you to write down elevated emotion. In other words, how are you going to feel when it happens? What do you think he said? Joy in life? Yes or no? In love with life? Yes or no? Grateful for life? And what? Inspired by life. Are you with me? Now look, pay really close attention. Do you see guilt in there? Do you see sadness in there? Do you see unworthiness in there? No, that's the old reality. You with me? And I said, when you get to this part where you become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time, in your pure consciousness, in the realm of infinite possibilities, I'm going to ask you in the meditation, What was that potential that already exists in the quantum field that you want to tune into? It's time to change your energy. He brings up that letter, and he remembers that the intention means all these things. And with a coherent brain, he's sending the signal out into the field. Are you with me still? Broadcasting that information into the field. And then if he can feel the emotion of his future with his... The heart is the magnetic signature. If he can feel the joy, the love, the gratitude, and the inspiration before the event, because in the quantum, you got to feel it in order to experience it. There's a vibrational match between his energy and some potential in the quantum field. He should have some new experience in his life. When it happens, how it happens is none of your business. That would be the known if you can predict it. Are you with me? So he does the meditation, then we do it again the next day. He does it again. Then I don't see him. I don't see the guy for a long time. And I was doing a workshop in Long Beach, and there was a shooting that went on in Los Angeles Airport, LAX. And I just landed just right after it happened, like 40 minutes after it happened. They closed the whole airport down. And you couldn't get in. I was trying to find I had to walk down the street and try to find my assistant. Like I'm flying into the hotel, and I'm running down the stairs, and he's running up the stairs. And he looks at me and he says, "Hey, welcome to my home." I said, "Are you kidding me? You live here?" He goes, "Yeah, I work for Tesla." He goes, "It worked." And I said, "Okay. Tell me everything, don't leave anything out." And he goes, "Well, I did it for a long time, and guess what happened?" Nothing. Nothing happened. He didn't say it didn't work. He just said, "I'm going to keep tuning in." If nothing happens, guess what? You're not that good. That's it. You're not that good. You keep going. You keep practicing. You with me? And then he says what everybody says. You're not going to believe this. He said, "I got on an elevator in a hotel in Hamburg, and when I got on the elevator, Elon Musk was on the elevator." He said, "By the time we got to the bottom floor, he hired me." And he worked for Tesla. And he was living in a warm environment. He became promoted to a senior engineer, was making a difference in the world. He was a pretty happy guy. He loved living in California. And then he moved to Amsterdam. And when I was in Amsterdam and I was getting ready to go back to the airport, I don't know, there was some monkey business going on when I was getting ready to leave. And all of a sudden I walk outside and there's a Model X. And he sent it over for me because I wanted it. It was just when they came out and I didn't get a chance to test drive one. So he sent one over to the hotel for me to test drive. On the way over to the airport. And, of course, I looked on the screen, and the only other person that had driven this thing, this was when they first came out, was Elon Musk in this car. So, in Holland, the Dutch, what do they have, like speed checks every, 10th of a mile or something? They're watching you in your car all the time. So the guys were like, "Hey, just go the speed limit, don't go crazy here." And we turned the corner, we got off freeway, and there was just a long exit. And he said, "I want you to kill the spider on the floor." Boom! We just flew down the road. Anyway, we showed up at the airport, opened up the doors. That was back when it was really novel. Everybody was, whoa, taking pictures in front of it. I would have never had that experience if he didn't create that future. Can you imagine that? So I was in London, and I was running a progressive workshop in London, and I had one of my friends that I hadn't seen in a long time move from the United States to London, and he had a new job, and he was working like 60 to 70 hours a week, and he was full on, and he was going, And I said, hey, why don't you come to the event, meet me there, I'll take you to dinner, let's hang out a little bit. He said, okay, I'll come. We got to this part of the event, and he said, I want a vacation. Are you with me? So he wrote down the letter V that represents, as the Mexicans say, vacations. And he drew these two squiggly lines around it that represented the electromagnetic field. Now, does that possibility exist in the quantum field? It already exists, yes? You have to become aware of it. And that's a function of the brain. Are you with me still? So then I say, now get very clear on your intention so you know exactly what that V stands for. And of course, he lives in London, so what's the first thing? He wants to go to a warm place. That potential exists in the quantum field? Yes? He doesn't want to spend any of his money that he's working so hard for. Does that potential exist in the quantum field? Does it? He wants to go for 10 days. Does that potential exist in the quantum field? And he wants to go with, you know who, the cool peeps. Not the boring ones, the cool people. So every time he thinks about or focuses on that V, the thought produces a frequency in the quantum field, or when you become conscious of a new possibility, you change your energy. So that V represents going on a vacation in a warm place where he doesn't have to spend money, going for 10 days and going with really cool people. That's what that V means to him. That symbol represents these things. That's his intention. You got it? And what are the feelings that he would feel if he was living there in that reality instead of the current reality where he's overworked? What would be some of those emotions? Would you say gratitude? Geez, that word keeps coming up. Joy, freedom, and finally, peace at last. So I say to him, it's time to become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time, to become pure consciousness and unfold into that infinite, vast nothing. Feel more of it and less of you. Become more of it and less of you. And lose your sense of self to nothing. It's all frequency, it's all energy in the nothing. What was that potential that exists in the quantum field that you wanted to tune into? It's time to change your energy, broadcasting a whole new electromagnetic signature into the field. For whatever you broadcast into the field is your experiment with destiny, and the longer you're conscious of this energy, the more you're drawing your experience to you. Feel it with your heart. You with me? And he gets totally into it. And at the very end, he has this vision, just like a vision. He didn't visualize, he just got this kind of download, and he saw himself putting his feet in the hot sand. That was the thought he had. So the event finished, he came backstage, I said, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So we went out, and all of a sudden, this is the God's honest truth, we're walking down the street in Belgravia, and his phone rings. And he's a big guy. He answers the phone, and he goes like this, hello? And then he takes his hand like this, and he puts it up against my chest, and he pushes me up against the wall of this building. And he's holding me like this, and he's on the phone looking at me like, what in the world is going on? And he's shaking his head, and he's looking at me like he's crazy. And he hangs up the phone, and what do you think he says? You're not going to believe this, dude. You're not going to believe this. My thing was a vacation. And he goes, I just got a call from a friend of mine that just won 4 tickets to Malaga, Spain. And he's bringing a playwright, and he's bringing a musician, and they're super cool people, and I don't have to pay anything. I just got to fly over there. But guess what? It was only for 9 days. Came in a way that he would never expect. Yes or no? And the more connected you are to that field and frequency, the more you are aware of it, the closer you are to its source, the shorter amount of time it appears in three-dimensional reality. And people say all the time, you're not going to believe this. It's like something appeared out of nothing. It was like out of nowhere it happened, and it happened in no time. And that tells me that person is creating from that realm where there is no time, where there is no separation, where everything is connected. If you still remember how to write, and if that's not your groove, then take out your device and manipulate that thing the way you do. But I want you to think about a potential in the quantum field that you would like to experience, some new experience in your life. And I want you to give it a letter. Like if you're depressed, that your serotonin levels go up. What do you say? If you want something to change your paradigm of life and you want a mystical experience, write the letter M down so you have an unknown event. Mystical means unknown. If you want to get healthier, write down the letter S or H to represent health. Now, you're not going for a complete reversal of disease on this one. What you're going for is just a change in your health. To do it to change some aspect of your health, like it diminishes your pain, or you have more energy, or your rash goes away, or whatever it is. You're doing it to change your health so that you can notice a change in your health. You write down the letter H. You got it? You want a new job? Write down the letter J. If you want a new relationship, write down the letter R, whatever that is in your language. And then I want you to, after you write that letter down, I want you to draw 2 squiggly lines around that represent the electromagnetic field. Now, don't you look at me and not write anything down. I'm watching you. I want you to get your brain active in the creative process. Write down that letter and draw 2 squiggly lines around it. That represents the electromagnetic field. Come on, we're about to create. No, you can't write 2 letters. We're only doing 1. We used to do 2. You can do anything. My daughter did an unlimited shopping spree. She had the time of her life. And by the way, when you write down unknown, buckle up. Because it's not like anything you expect. That would be the known. Okay, now you got your letter, yes? Now I want you to write the word intention. Intention, I want you to draw a line under it. Now, what does that letter mean? That symbol, that letter represents something to you. And I want you to start making a list. If it's health, maybe more energy, less pain, sleeping better, some change in your symptoms, more vitality, whatever that is. Make a list of what it is, more mobility. I want you to list out what that letter represents. If it's abundance and you want to work from anywhere in the world and make more money without having to do as much, I don't know, I'm making stuff up. You want to make a difference in the world? You want to experience with nature. I used to do this all the time. You wouldn't believe the things that happened to me. Weird things in nature. Write down the letter N, whatever it is. Then write those sub-intentions. Get very clear on your experience. Very clear. And write down at least 3. And if you can write down 4, that's even better. Come on, we're creating. We're not going to a crucifixion. My God. Loosen up. Okay, now, write down the word elevated emotions. Write those words down. Elevated emotions. Now, I want you to write down at least 3 emotions you will feel when it happens. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. And when you feel gratitude, your body believes it's already happened. That's its signature. Gratitude is a good one. If you're going to do something unlimited, you better feel unlimited. If you want abundance, you can't feel lack. You got to feel worthy. You got to feel like you have more than you need. We're generating abundance. We're generating success. We're generating health. We're generating love. We're generating the mystical. The moment you feel gratitude, your healing begins. The moment you feel worthy, you are generating abundance. The moment you open your heart for love, love you send out is the love you get back. What is the greatest expression of love? Now you have your clear intention, yes? Come on. That little letter represents that list, yes? And the emotion that you're feeling has to be emotion that comes from the heart, because the heart is the magnetic signature. Are you with me still? So the experiment goes like this. I'm going to have you close your eyes and take your breath and then relax into nothing. You got it? Just like you did. And then I'm going to ask you to become aware of that infinite space beyond you. I saw so many of you, the moment you saw that infinite nothing, you forgot about the person sitting in front of you. In fact, you forgot you were even here. And I want you to become aware of it behind you and on both sides of you. You're going to tune into all that nothing, and you're going to become nobody, no one, no thing, no where, and no time. Disinvest all of your attention, all of your energy out of this three-dimensional reality, out of the material world, out of the known, into the unknown. Are you with me still? And I want you to linger there as pure consciousness, aware of nothing but you. Aware that you're aware in infinite nothing. That's passing through the eye of the needle. Are you with me still? And I'm going to remind you, it's all frequency, it's all energy, there's all possibilities there. And I'm going to ask you, what was that possibility that you wanted to tune into? Come on, it's time to change your energy. And all I want you to do is remember that letter. You got it? And if you have a coherent brain, coherent signal, electrical charge into the field. And I'm going to tell you to send the signal out from your brain. Just follow the instructions. I'll keep telling you, sending the signal out from your brain. You are the source. Sending the signal out from your coherent brain. Feel your connection to it with your brain. You got that? And then I'm going to say to you, now it's time to draw that experience to you with the love in your heart. Drawing it to you with a grateful heart. Feel your connection to it with a trusting heart. Feel it deep in your heart, drawing it to you with your heart. Sending the signal out with your brain, drawing it to you with your heart, creating a change in your energy, synchronizing your energy to that possibility. And when there's a lock and you're beyond space and time, there's a vibrational match. Now you no longer have to do anything to get it. Why would you? If you are source, you will draw the experience to you. And all I want you to do is keep generating that energy. We'll balance our heart and our brain, and the meditation will be over.